What is going on, everybody? Welcome to your Strats Weekly for the week of 17 April 2021. What's going on YouTube chat and also Discord? How is everybody doing this evening? Hopefully
super duper.
Woo! Yeah, so lots to talk about. Lots and lots to talk about, community-wise and game-wise. So I'm going to get straight into it before we get sidetracked and talk about all kinds of unrelated things, which is what always happens at the beginning of Strats Weekly, it feels like.
And the end.
And the end. And in the middle also.
And the middle.
And right now. Damn it. So, World of Warcraft Shadowlands. If you are interested in playing World of Warcraft Shadowlands, or you currently play World of Warcraft Shadowlands, we have people playing World of Warcraft Shadowlands. Actually, Nightlife was just bragging his new alt. What did he do? Yeah, he's just bragging his new rogue alt that he's working on is doing quite nicely and progressing well. Nightlife runs the show on that, by the way. He usually streams over on our Facebook page, facebook.com/stratsco, if you are looking to see what Bear Tank Life looks like, because that is predominantly what he plays in progression raiding. Nightlife has us teamed up with another guild for progression raids. We do those over on their Discord server, and then for key pushing, which is Nightlife's big passion, we host those over here on our server. He was on earlier. He's not currently at the moment. But if you are looking for a home on Area 52, we play Horde side, or just looking for more people to hang out with and play, feel free to drop in the Blizznerds channel. Ask for him. He can get you all the deets on that. What else?
Horde.
What else is going on for the Horde? Indeed. Eve Online. Vecino's not in here. Taco's in here, though. Taco, what's been going on in Eve this week? Other than like all the craziness.
Just playing the game.
Yep, smashing. I mean, as you can
There's
see,
I don't know. We have
Well said.
we have a lot of last Tuesday we had a guy join us by the name of Locke, and he's been running PvP fleets in Rome steadily almost every day, gaining a lot of kills for our kill board, and so there's a lot of PvP going on. There's a lot of PvE going on. They're currently running a wormhole.
roll that whole time.
Wormhole PvE thingy. I was there for a little bit scouting. It's a thing led by Covert Fridge on Saturdays from 5 p.m. East Central to 10 p.m. Central, I think. Yeah. We just Eve,
Yeah, it's the second job.
It's a sandbox. You can do everything. You want to scam somebody? You can do it.
But you could. It's actually allowed.
It is a
Naughty
unbannable thing. As long as it doesn't lead to harassment.
Yep, so there are heaps of people playing Eve, if you didn't know. We pretty much always have something going on. I don't know that I ever get on Discord anymore and see any fleets empty. There's always seems to be at least one fleet running, as there is right now. And I know they've got another op scheduled later this evening. They're going to go do some stuff. I won't talk about it because it's super secret stuff. There's spies. There's spies everywhere. Or so I'm told.
Hi, spy.
88.
Hello.
Well, yep. Yeah, lots of cool stuff going on there. We not only have our own core, we are also in charge of our own alliance, thanks to the previous alliance we joined, collapsing spectacularly, I might add. If you are looking for a new home in New Eden, if you're a veteran player returning after a hiatus, or you're just looking for a new core, or you're a new player in general and want to learn the ropes and just how deep the Eve rabbit hole goes, spoiler alert, it goes deep. It goes really, really, really deep. There's you'll never know it all, but that's part of the fun of it. It seems.
There's
So,
a lot of space out there.
a lot of space, big sandbox. But if that is something that sounds interesting to you, or if you're a core who is looking for an alliance that is pretty laid back and kind of lets the cores do their own thing, feel free to pop down into the Internet Spaceships channel. You're welcome to ask for Bane, ask for Vecino, ask for Vorthos, ask for Taco. A lot of people you could talk to down there and then get you sorted out and get you pointed in the right direction. DX Racer, how'd the op go today so far?
Perfectly smooth.
Is that perfectly smooth or sarcastically perfectly smooth?
I mean, other than, the initial get the bugs worked out of cap chains and stuff, it was about as smooth as you can get.
Fair enough. I feel like that's how it always is when you have like large scale coordinated stuff. It will go as well as it will go. And hopefully it goes well. What's going on, Bane? Everybody else who's popping in. See, even now, still full.
Who did?
Ha! Even now.
Jesus Christ, there's everybody.
Yeah, everybody's coming up to hang out. So yeah, obviously we have a lot of people playing EVE. It is round the clock. Bane is also looking for more EU pilots, by the way. If you are in the EU and you see this live stream or you catch the VOD after the fact, Bane would love to have you. Because he wants more people in his time zone. At least during the week. But yeah. So just a question for the EVE guys, since like a bunch of you popped up in here. What would you say is the content focus? Or is there a content focus, or are you guys kind of just doing a little bit of everything for people who might be looking for a new core or looking to join the game in general?
It has people that are doing literally everything in the game.
Well, there you have it. I know the core is also significantly larger than the Discord chat might lead you to believe. You got, what, a couple hundred down in the actual core, right? In-game?
We have just over 100 people in Strats Co, the Corp. In the Alliance, a couple hundred?
Oh, maybe I had it backwards then, yeah. Oh, yes. And Venusino says wormholes in chat. He said it with a lot more O's. I won't pronounce it like that, though. But I appreciate your enthusiasm, Vecino. But yeah, if there is any aspect of EVE you're looking to get into, PvP, PvE, crafting, running the markets, especially wormhole life, because we are definitely wormholers. There are plenty of opportunities.
I believe the term is wormhose.
I don't know if wormhose is the correct term. I'd have to defer to people playing EVE to confirm one way or the other. I think wormholes are the ones that come in our wormhole and think they're going to start some shit, and then Locke is sitting there in like 1v7s.
Yeah. We shoot him.
I saw that video. I won't show it because I would show it if I had Locke's permission to show it, but I don't want to because he has it unlisted and he put it in like the sneaky channel. But good God, it was a masterclass on how to whoop ass.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I felt real bad for those guys. It looked not pleasant for them.
Wait, the 1v thing wasn't just a meme?
No.
No.
Oh,
He
Jesus.
posted a video of it. It was insane.
That dude, I swear to God. He fights everything. Everywhere.
Truly, he is the epitome of all gas, no brakes. Yeah.
Murder.
Truly. But like I said, if you are looking for a home in New Eden, boy howdy, do we have it. What else do I have to talk in over here real quick? All right, other games real quick. We'll go fast because nobody likes talking about this one but me. Princess Connect Redive. We have a clan in Princess Connect Redive. Laugh if you want. We're top 2,000, hopefully, after clan battle rankings solidify, which will be. I want to say we'll have that. They'll have it sometime this week. We'll know for sure. We are slowly working our way up, which feels really good because the rewards are super good. If you happen to be somebody who's playing the mobile gacha game, Princess Connect Redive, we have room in the clan. We're looking for more able bodies. That's right, Radom. Laugh if you want. You can unmute and laugh. I don't care. I enjoy this game quite a bit.
Well, I thought I was unmuted, and then you said that, and I was like, ha, lol. And you're like, laugh if you want. And I was like, wait, am I unmuted?
No, I was laughing. He was talking to me because I divorced my waifus and I'm not really playing in the clan anymore. But
Yeah.
he's just still going strong with all his little digital ladies.
Hey,
Nice.
we did quite well in the clan battle though. It was actually it was a really good clan battle for our clan specifically, just for the way our teams are currently set up. We have these strong comps for what we were fighting, thankfully. But yeah, if you are playing in the global server and you're looking for a clan, hit us up. Feel free to reach out to me in the gaming channel or anywhere. Just DM me even. That's fine too. I can get back to you on
Pretty
that.
cute game. Lots of cute ladies. Interesting combat.
It's honestly the PvP is a lot of fun. That's my favorite part is trying to figure out because it's an auto battler for the PvP. So trying to figure out what you're going up against and how best can you formulate a team with what you have against what they have. I think it's
It
a lot.
allows you to do the test battle first, right?
Well, for the clan battle it does, but in PvP, no. In PvP, you just kind of have to eyeball it and figure out what you're gonna do.
Hope for the best.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you can make
I tend to choose poorly.
you can make some there is a lot of strategy to it. It's surprising what you can overcome if you stop and think about what pieces are available. But
you
it's
memorize all the stats of your 30 wives.
no, it's more about like understanding like okay, this is a mage team with a taunt, so I need to have an assassin and I need to be able to isolate and remove the taunt from the enemy team. Like
So
that
you
kind
need to
of thought
know
process.
all of the stats of your waifus.
You just have to know the moves. You don't really have to know the stats. Stats
I
are
mean their
pretty easy.
abilities, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like having the taunt.
Yeah,
Like you need to know who's
so
who
to
and who does
speak.
what.
Yeah, you need to understand what character serves what.
You gotta know
function.
your ladies' moves.
Mm,
Look, what kind of a harem leader would you be if you didn't understand and love your waifus, right? You gotta
lazy
know a little
kind.
bit. That's true. The kind that divorces.
I'm
them.
just here for the snuggle piles.
But yeah, if you are looking for a clan, hit us up. We actually have a pretty decent chance of busting in the top 1500 in the next clan battle or two, which would be super cool because then we get more rewards. I'm all about it. What else is going on? Valheim. We got a bunch of new
Valheim!
Valheim peeps this week also. Note for the Valheim people who are either here or who might catch the VOD. The dedicated server, we are shifting to an allow ban list so that we don't have to change the password every time somebody comes in, acts a fool, and gets themselves banned, which may or may not have happened earlier this week. Spoiler, it did happen. So rather than having to constantly change the password and redisseminate that, we're just going to get everybody's Steam IDs and put an allow list together so we don't have to keep changing the password and such like that. I think I DM'd everybody who's playing on the server. If I missed anyone, sorry. Please reach out. We'll get it sorted. I'm going to flip that over tomorrow evening unless I happen to hear back from everybody before then and get a fresh backup and all that stuff taken care of. That's what's going on with Valheim. Have we heard yet when the update's coming out, Braden? Do we know?
no idea.
See, because that's what I'm kind of waiting for too. I mean, that and the semester to be over. Truth be told.
I figured
I'm
I just see
excited for
people
that update.
posting about it.
Say again, Precious.
I said I'm excited for that update, but I don't know when it's supposed to drop.
Yeah, I would like to think that they teased it because it was reasonably close to coming out, especially because they said they were separating that the building stuff and some of the quality of life that they're planning to implement. They separated that from the update it was originally intended to accompany, and they're going to put it out first. So that to me says it's coming sooner than later, but I don't know. Still haven't heard anything official about when that's actually coming, which is a shame.
I just pop into the Valheim channel every once in a while. I figure the people that are more into it than I am will start posting about it when it's happening.
That's true. I mean, I figure it will hit the front page of Reddit whenever it happens as well. Like somebody will be super excited, and enough people are playing, and we'll see a big uptick on Twitch streaming again whenever that update goes live. So I figure through
You'll hear about it because I'll be super excited about
It's true.
it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like there, I have like 1, 2, 3. I have like 4 or 5 channels where I might hear about it from. So I figure when it happens, I'll know. But it's just kind of like, I don't like when they're like, "Hey, this thing's coming soon," I know it's like a very Blizzard move. I just don't like it. It's just like give us even just an approximation, something to go off of. Like,
Oh, so they're using duck time.
look, my time is very fluid. My time is extremely fluid.
You are so bad at judging time.
I am better than I was, which is not necessarily an improvement.
No.
Well, it's an improvement, but it's not saying a whole lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, currently, for anybody who catches this VOD after the fact or out there in the YouTube chat, we are not currently accepting any new members to the dedicated server because we are at capacity. But if you are looking for people to talk Valheim with or play Valheim with, literally everybody who is playing on the server is also playing in assorted other personal worlds and with one another. So feel free to come by if you're looking for people to play with. I think they would all enjoy even more company out there being Vikings and such. Oh, what else do we got to talk about? There we go. Path of Exile or Crash of Exile. Has anybody been paying attention aside from Taco to what a shit show yesterday's launch was for the new league?
League.
I just remember hearing something bad happen, but I wasn't sure exactly what it was.
It's awful.
There's some good times.
Yeah. They so Path of Exile's latest league just launched yesterday, Ultimatum, and it is just a shit show. There was an error somewhere in the database, and the result of that error is that basically everybody was crashing out constantly and getting thrown back in queue. And the number of people attempting to play yesterday was nearly the all-time peak for
Oof.
Path of Exile numbers. So like well over 100,000 people were all slamming their face and DDoSing the servers basically, which had problems with the database setup, which was causing players to crash out constantly. And to exacerbate that, for the first time, GGG thought it would be a good idea to give priority queues to some of the major streamers so that people could watch those streams. And I was initially, when I first heard about this, I was like, okay, but like, that's not a big deal if you're giving them, because like the impact of even 200 reasonably sized streamers going ahead of, you know, the rest of the player base to get in through the queue, that's not that big a deal. Like, that's going to have an infinitesimal impact on other people's queue time, until I realized and understood that this was alongside everybody crashing out every couple minutes, which means you're constantly getting thrown back in this queue. So a few of the streamers actually, I know Ziggy D was one of them, went and asked to be removed from the priority queue because they just didn't like the idea of having this preferred treatment and benefiting from, you know, the fact that they were a content creator and their viewers who are fans of the game, or they wouldn't be watching those streams, were unable to participate and play the game. It was, and then other streamers were like, "It's just how it is, man. Life's not fair. Get used to it." And I was just like, "Okay, ooh, buddy."
Bad move there.
We'll see. I mean, that guy in the same breath said that he thought it was like not the best idea, but that life wasn't fair, and he did not, at least to my knowledge, that specific streamer didn't go and ask to be removed from priority queue. GGG has already come out and said, "This is our bad. No more priority queues for streamers. We're sorry. We've removed it. We're addressing the problems. Never again." So, like, I guess good on them for fixing it now, but yeah. People were big mad as a result of all of that. And understandably so, because this looks to be a pretty entertaining league. It's a lot of risk reward. The new league mechanic is like, you come up on a trial and you can get a specific reward, and then after you complete it, you have the option to do a harder trial, and it will show you what the new reward would be. And so it's basically like, do you take your reward or do you risk your reward by doing a harder trial to get a better reward? So it's kind of an interesting thing, and it, depending on how it goes late game, there's going to be like legitimately going to be currency duplication as an option for the rewards from these trials, like unique harder trials and things of that nature. So there's a lot of really interesting potential later on for the league, and I think a lot of people are hyped, especially because this league was so delayed because of all the shenanigans of the last year. So the previous league ran a lot longer, so a lot of people were just like chomping at the bit to get into this league, and then to have the server issues, the database issues that they had, coupled with deciding it was a good idea to give streamers queue priority. Yeah, just not a good look for GGG, unfortunately. But what are you gonna do at this point? Hopefully it all goes well. Man, I was really hoping Light Force was gonna be here today.
By the way, I just want to I was just going to stay muted, but I just want to pitch in here that I think that it would have been absolutely irrelevant that they gave streamers queue priority and nobody would have even known it existed if they hadn't had an issue.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's an issue that they gave anybody priority literally at all. I think the issue is that they had a different issue which caused people to bounce back and keep getting disconnected.
Yeah, and that's kind of where that was kind of my initial thoughts prior to the other problems that were existing. It's just like it is there, the stream priority isn't, or the queue priority wasn't really a problem until people were crashing every 2 to 5 minutes, and then it's like, okay, now it's a little unfair. But again, yeah, like 200, even 500 people, if they had like really widened it out and just given a heap of even modest content creators queue priority, in the grand scheme of things would have been like a 30-second impact on queue times, maybe, if that. Yeah, I don't think it was necessarily problematic, and in fact, I bet they've had queue priority previously for previous leagues, and just nobody was the wiser. They kind of, as I understand it, they kind of made it sound like this was the first time they did it, but I don't think this was the first time that they actually had queue priorities in. I'm pretty sure they have had it for a while, for at least the big ones.
I mean, like, take it as you will, but my hot take on the issue is, like, frankly, I'm tired of hearing anybody complain about anything from Path of Exile because, like, I'm sorry that your beautiful, gargantuan, commonly updated, commonly balanced, or I shouldn't say commonly, frequently balanced game, free game, is inadequate. So apologies.
Yeah, 100%.
Go somewhere else. Go play somewhere else then.
I will say, you would be hard pressed to even find a AAA game that has that kind of constant attention paid to it, like especially in that genre.
That's my point.
Yeah.
So, like, go ahead, man. Like, see you later.
Go to the competitor. Go to the competition.
Yeah, go play something else then. So it's like a big pet peeve of mine, I guess.
Yeah. Speaking of, by the way, since you're in here, if you didn't know, we have a rough ending on Martyr's season sometime in June, it sounds like.
Okay.
So we'll have like co-op Void Crusades and new season announcement coming in the next 6-ish weeks. We'll know more details based on what they were saying earlier this week in the Discord. So I'm pretty hype on that because I know, since I'm in the beta Discord as well, helping out with that, I know there's a lot of changes coming to Tech Adept, and I'm kind of hyped to play a Tech Adept next season. I think I'm gonna see if a Gatekeeper wants to throw down and just be like Tech Adept bros. Because now just like I have the full access to the entire ship bridge without having to play through half the story to get access to it. We just like all the NPCs start there. Just like, yeah, I'll be a pet class this season. I'm thinking about it. We'll see. Yes, Vecino, people do complain on the internet, and they also lie on the internet. I know that's going to shock your feeble mind, but it's true. That's how it is. I don't know why. Oh man, yeah. The only other thing I had prepared to talk about today is Overwatch League is back. Woo! The May Melee is going for Overwatch League 2021. Anybody watching Overwatch League? I was hoping Life Force would be here because I know he's watching it. Taco, did you end up watching any of it yesterday or today?
No.
I'm
Where's the pick'em?
Oh yeah,
Where's
we're not doing pick'em. At least not for the May
Uh-huh.
Melee. Maybe we may do it for we may do it down the road, but we're not doing it for May Melee. It's a lot harder to do with now that we don't have the forums anymore. Like when we had the forums, the pick'em with format was a lot easier to manage because I could easily go in and see who voted for what and all that, as opposed to I don't even know if there's a good way to do it on Discord. I'll have to look and see if the poll bots maybe have a way to make it work. Not really sure. But at least so far, there's not. I'm happy to report, though, for those who didn't watch, Houston Outlaws won the Battle for Texas yesterday. Finally. It's been since season 1. We haven't won in a while. Finally.
How are my Shanghai Dragons doing?
Shanghai clapped last season, and they're looking good this season.
Why couldn't they clap
worn
the
your
season
hat.
I was voting for them?
Because they were the worst league team in the league that season.
Whatever, I still finished ahead of Casino.
Are not doing too hot.
Say again, Eric?
So my Boston guys haven't been doing too hot past few years.
No, they had a really good first season, and they're just getting like punchy-fied.
Also, kind of tangential thing. I know there's a lot of people who like watching esports that don't even necessarily play the game, and Gatekeeper brought this up to me the other day because he's one of those people. If you like watching competitive League of Legends at all and haven't already gotten spoilered, the NA midseason showdown final was really, really good. I won't even say which game numbers or anything because it's a best of 5, so it could be 3, 4, or 5 games depending how quickly it goes. But like, if that is of interest to anybody who likes to watch that sort of thing but doesn't necessarily even play, I would watch them all from start to finish and watch the picks and bans as well because there's some like really cheeky picks and bans strategies, and then the games themselves are really good.
Literally looking that up right now.
Yeah, it's like I would watch the whole thing front to back. I mean, like bookmark a few hours or like, an hour, a couple hours each night, watching it while you like eat lunch or eat dinner or something, but it was really good.
Yeah. The to answer your question though, Bradum, Shanghai's only played one game so far, or one match, and they 3-0'd their opponent. So
Nice.
Actually, it was
For
interesting.
context for everyone, I joined our pick'em for Overwatch League, and I played Overwatch like once in my life and never watched Overwatch League. And I would just click the buttons and pick random teams. And one team I always picked was Shanghai Dragons, and they were awful.
Yeah. So actually, yesterday, Bradum, I threw it in. I wonder if I can get this on the actual. Let me see if I can get over here. Oh yeah, here we go. So this was a graphic they had yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. This is the power ratings with IBM Watson. Overall, Shanghai Dragons have 4 of the top 10 of this like being the best based on their last season performance.
Nice.
So and San Francisco's got
That's
3 up there as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. And actually the other thing, Lightforce might be doing podcast related things, or he might just be watching the actual games. There might be a game right now. I'm not sure. Because Lightforce actually runs a Overwatch League podcast for. I don't want to get the Canadian team wrong that he does. Is it the Defiant? I think it's the Defiant. Braden, do you know?
Maybe. No idea. Vancouver something.
You got it wrong. You could just tell them that you're sorry.
Toronto. Yeah, Toronto. No, Toronto is.
Sorry.
No, okay. So he's Vancouver Titans, and he's not Defiant as Toronto. Yeah. But yeah, apparently when he interviewed he got the assistant coach for the head coach for one team and the assistant GM for the other of the 2 Canadian teams, the Defiant and the Titans, and asked them what team did they expect would surprise people the most this season. and both of them said Outlaws, because Outlaws made a bunch of big moves in the offseason, which is great because Outlaws were pretty good season 1, and we have been garbage tier ever since. It's been real rough. But we looked pretty good. We looked pretty good yesterday, so I'm hopeful that we will stomp a mud hole in Vecino's San Francisco shock tomorrow.
Dare you?
I mean, like, look, just prepare now. The acceptance will make it easier. It will make it
It
easier.
looks like there's a direct correlation between the number of Koreans that you have on your team and their success. Just looking at this top 10 rankings here.
Well, that's how it was for Spitfire. All the Spitfire guys came from StarCraft League.
Nice, because I'm looking. It's like okay, we got like 8 Koreans, 1 white guy, and then 1 like I don't know.
I think it's a lot of. I think a lot of it has to do with how long it has taken, and still is to a certain degree, for esports to be more accepted here in America. Like when you look at how accepted and popular esports are in the East and even in Europe compared to America, it's like almost night and day how much more popular and accepted they are overseas versus here stateside.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's not necessarily that they're Korean, it's just that they're from a country that was like much more supportive and accepting of like esports for quite a long time, and they consider that like a viable thing to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I forget.
They're bred for esports.
I forget what country it was, but I want to say Vietnam, maybe. But I was listening to somebody talking about a Teamfight Tactics World Championship coming up, and the way they determined slots was both like size of the region, as far as like number of players and last year's performance kind of thing. So I knew that Europe had a bunch of slots, for example, but NA didn't have that many slots, surprisingly. But like Vietnam had like a ton comparatively. It's like, what the hell? Like, what's going on in Vietnam?
Well, it's the same. I forget
Aiming.
what.
Yeah.
I forget
Teamfight
what country
Tactics.
it is. There's a country in East Africa where the overwhelming majority of 100-meter sprinters, like under a certain time, are born. It's just like.
I thought it was East Africa.
Say again, Derek?
I thought it was like East Africa.
That's what I said, East Africa. Isn't that what I
I'm
said?
looking at I remember seeing that too.
Oh, that's definitely what you said.
Yeah, it's like I don't remember what it was, but it was some like crazy disproportionate number. So like, I don't know what's in the water over there, but man, it's like they run. I don't get it. But
them run
based on Vecino. So just looking here, Dallas played the team your guys played yesterday. Dallas played them today. So we beat Dallas, and Dallas performed as well against the Gladiators as the Shock did against the Gladiators. Therefore, I expect a close game with Houston winning. That is my statistical analysis.
All right. We'll see. We'll see.
With no
We will
bias
see.
whatsoever.
No bias whatsoever. Precious is right. I should have worn my hat. I left it over there. I can't wear my hat with this headphone, but I had to use the other headphones. And then Braden would have complimented me for wearing my audiophile headphones that cost $14.
Yeah, boy.
I'm just gonna say that Boston has not lost a game this season.
Oh, I took a screenshot. Houston played the very first match of the season, and I took a screenshot of the standings after the match was over. The only time
Yeah.
Houston will be in number 1.
Yeah, and you got to keep the bandana because the last time when Adam joined, he's like, with the bandana, Oth kind of looks like Jeremy from Pure Ownage. I was like, you know what? You're kind of right.
I don't know who that is.
Oh man, Pure Ownage.
What?
Don't.
So,
I can't know everything.
I gotta link it now.
You gotta link. Of course, the AI knows it.
I mean, I don't say ownage, but
I mean, it's
obviously
classic.
ownage.
I mean, I
It's
guess
obvious.
it's a change from the JonTron comparison. So
Ugh, I hated that so much.
Dude, you do look like
JonTron?
JonTron though.
I don't
Does
see
he?
it.
He does not.
I don't see it.
In the face.
I mean,
I used to say that, but John turned to shut shipper that I'm sorry I've ever compare you to him.
I mean,
actually, it's not even like a visual resemblance. It's that when I first met Oth, he used to post a GIF of JonTron all the time, and I just like started associating it with him.
To me, it was an old picture of him. Like when I see him now in streams, it doesn't look as much like him. But there's a picture somewhere in the forums from a long time ago where there was a lot of resemblance.
It's also probably because my hair is under like a bandana. If like my hair was out, I do have a similar hair color, and probably one of the pictures on the forums back in the day in the IRL picture thread would have looked.
I posted
I see
that pure ownage with the bandana in the in streaming channel.
Yeah, I think the resemblance is like 95% bandana and then like 5% actual looks.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I'll wear a blue bandana next week for y'all. I'll have to make a note of it.
It's all about the micro.
All about the micro.
You gotta work on my micro. That was such a good show.
Wait,
it was before its time.
Wait, isn't the bird JonTron though?
Well, that's the conspiracy theory. That's the tinfoil hat.
Thought it was the bird.
We just need an FPS Doug now. FPS Doug was definitely the best.
That's true. I love FPS Doug. Oh man, it's all coming back to me now.
I'm gonna have to.
Why can't it come in the club? Because of your attire.
Am I gonna
I didn't know you were that.
Tires, man.
I didn't realize you were that old school, Braden. Honestly.
Yeah, man.
That's nice. I mean, I remember that was like I was in high school, I think.
What, like the 60s, 70s?
Yeah. Yeah, early 60s, you know.
Ha ha.
I don't think you're that much older than I am, this, you know.
I don't know. Maybe you're my age.
I'm an 89 baby.
Oh yeah, you're not quite. Dude, I got.
Holy fuck, you guys are.
Yeah, what's up, young blood?
Say your words. How I dare you?
91. Let's get it.
Braden's as old as my youngest sibling.
Wow.
You're as old as my kid, sis. Congratulations, or thereabouts.
Well, he knows his internet meme history at least. So
yeah, it's the same year Stevie was born.
Yeah. There you have it.
My baby brother.
All right, now what?
Oh man, I mean, like those were the prepared talking points I had. I wanted to talk Overwatch League and Path of Exile and Valheim.
I think Houston against a shock. I think Houston's gonna win. They'll get the garbage can out so they can bang.
Oh yeah, dude, we absolutely are gonna have a camera pointed at all of their screens so we know exactly who they're picking before they come out of spawn.
Hell yeah.
It will be Morse code on the trash can. Yes, that's happening.
That would be great.
I would laugh my ass off if the Outlaws memed that somehow. Like truly laugh my ass off if they did it. I don't know how you would do it though. Like how could you even pull that off? Especially because like right now it's like the players aren't even like on the stage because they're doing the social distancing, etc. So they're all in like their own individual booths.
Cubes.
Yeah. So like you can't even. I don't know. But if they could meme it somehow, I would laugh really hard. Like maybe just bring like whenever they go back to actually live, just bring a trash can up on stage with them. I would laugh.
Yeah.
I would appreciate.
It'd be funny.
There'd be as many people though who don't think that's funny.
Yeah.
Because there are definitely
always is.
There's a whole lot of Astros fans that are like just rolling with it, taking the punches because I mean like it's deserved. Because it definitely affected outcomes. Did it make such an effect that it altered what happened? Tough to say. I'm biased, so I would say maybe. A lot of people would say absolutely, definitely. There's no question about it. But it is definitely like a shit thing that happened. But there's, for as many Stros fans as are out there just kind of rolling with the punches on that, there are also a heap that are not and get like real pissed off when you bring it up at all. And it's just like,
I bet you that those that get really pissed off about it are the ones that will like shit on the Patriots nonstop about cheating.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure they were all in on Deflategate and such like that. Although they're definitely not Texas football fans if they're worried about that, because yeah, Texas football. Good lord, I don't even want to talk about it. It hurts me. It hurts so bad. Yeah, that's all the prepared things I had to talk about. Did anybody else want to talk about anything? I'm open for suggestions.
Talk about teamfight tactics.
Oh yeah, new teamfight tactics.
new
Shit,
set.
I should have talked about that. Damn. Yeah, TFT is on the PB. Do we know when it's actually coming out?
I think it comes out either like a week after it went to PBE or 2 weeks. So I'm not certain, but like very soon, and not very soon TM, like very soon actually.
Teamfight Tactics. I get graphics. Yeah, so for anybody who doesn't know, Teamfight Tactics is League of Legends auto chess auto battler. It is super good. It is, I think it's the best auto chess out there. Like, it was not the first, but I think it's the best. And they have done a really good job of supporting it with like lots of cosmetics that, some number of can be earned completely free. Others you'd have to, buy the battle pass, so to speak, in order to get them.
Do you have to know the champs in order to enjoy?
Not really. I mean, so the way it works is each of the characters have base stats and a move, like single move, and you can like see what that move is by clicking on them. Like, it'll tell you what it is. So they don't have tons of moves; they have one move. So it's a lot easier to keep track of, and it's not all of the champions either. It's a much smaller pool.
Also, to me, Vecino, I'd say that it's actually of a benefit to not know the original champions, because it took me quite a while to kind of break my preconceived notions of like what that champion does in League of Legends, because I had like hours and hours and hours of reps on that person. And some of them are quite different in TFT, or just like, there's, even though they use like the same visuals or something, the spell works a very different way, or like in TFT it has a different range, or it's allowed to crit, which in, the main game it's like it can't crit, it just does what it does, or like scales off a different stat or stuff like that. So I think it's almost to a benefit to not know the League of Legends.
And it can be played on mobile, which is super hype.
I do hear that it's really crappy on tablet, though, if anybody's concerned about that. They haven't optimized it for tablet yet, and usually the lead dev, whenever anybody brings it up, he's like, "Look, man, sorry, like it's low priority. It's playable on tablet. I play on tablet all the time. It doesn't look awesome, but like,
but it runs.
We're working on it. We're working on it, man.
What more do you want from your free game?"
Yeah, I do find it funny with that kind of stuff, where it's, if it wasn't on tablet, you'd have people being like, just bring it to tablet. Like, I don't care what state it's in, just bring it to tablet.
Mm-hmm.
And then it comes to tablet, it's not a great state. They're like, well, what the hell? Why isn't this in a good state? It's like, okay, would you rather not have it? Or
no, they want to have their cake and eat it too, Braden, as is the way of the internet.
I like cake.
Yeah, they also, for the record, they, in this recent patch, they added a new mode called Hyper Roll, which is kind of they've touted as like a beginner mode, because you don't have to manage as many resources as the main mode. And I don't think that's true at all. I find Hyper Roll to be like so fast paced, because it's supposed to be a much quicker experience, why they call it Hyper Roll, that I was like, as an experienced player, feeling a bit overwhelmed. So I don't know if I buy into the fact that Hyper Roll is like a good way to learn the game. To me, it felt very frantic, and I was kind of like freaking out trying to play, and I know everything, let alone like trying to learn via Hyper Roll. So I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I know. Really, I mean, I remember playing the first time I was playing like the original TFT set, and I didn't come in completely ignorant to what was going on, but like I had very little experience with auto chess, auto battlers. I knew the champions, but like Cat Poop was saying, like that was almost a detriment to a certain degree because you have expectations of how these champions behave and perform that don't necessarily align with how they perform in teamfight tactics. But even just over a handful of games, I started feeling like I was already grasping the concepts and the basics, and that was before there was a lot of quality of life that helped you not miss duplicate champions, ways to, without using some sort of like third-party overlay with like Overwolf or having a sheet up on your second monitor, you can now see the different item recipe combinations in game and such like that. It's just generally a lot better user experience than it was, and I didn't feel like it was a terribly hard thing to learn. But there is a big difference between being able to play it and being like really good at it, which I think is interesting.
Yeah.
Like that there's
I didn't know how it would go when I was playing like ranked or anything like that. And the first season I got to high diamond, which is like near the higher ranks. Then I was like, oh, okay, well, I mean, I didn't really like feel anything while I was leveling up. And then the next season when they reset and I was bronze, I'd stomped my way back and I was like, oh, okay, I guess there is a skill difference, eh?
Yeah, I'm better at TFT than I ever was at regular league. I was gold league, you know, I think was the best I ever did, like low, like gold 5 or silver 1 maybe. Like I was not great at regular League of Legends. I was just very okay. But TFT, I got to platinum in BD. All right, I'm all about it. Feels good. Feels good to be not terrible. It is fun.
Really?
It's also fun to like get a bunch of people on because you can play at 8-player, and you can actually do a full 8-player queue, right? For normal, like you can't do it ranked, obviously.
Yeah, you can just do like an 8-player game.
Yeah, like
and do meme stuff.
Yeah, we've definitely done like some meme games, like Jesus Take the Wheel. Nobody's allowed to pick at carousels. You have to take whatever the game gives you randomly, things like that. I think it's a lot of fun, and it's pretty, because it's an auto battler. It's a fun game to like sit there and BS while you're playing. It's not one that requires your undivided attention all the time. You can definitely, you have moments where you have to focus and think about what you're doing, but then there are other points where you can just kind of sit there and just enjoy it. I don't know. I really like it. I'm a fan. I'm pretty hyped that there's a new set coming out. I haven't played the last 2 sets, so this one actually looks really entertaining, so I think I'm gonna jumping back in and playing some on it once it goes live. Is there anything else anybody want to talk about?
So I just want to say that, as Oth observed, this past week I subscribed to 1 month of the EA Play, whatever the pass is, to play to scratch that like annual just like Madden itch that I have when there's no football on. It's like I just want to experience this, and it's gotten to the point where I loaded up the game and I wasn't sure if I had played it before or if that was last year's game.
Wow.
There's so little difference between the game. I'm like, did I play this when it came out, or was that last year's? I have no idea. Absolutely no idea.
Yikes. I mean,
it's getting bad.
Did they at least get the right graphics in this year? Because I think it was last year that they had the 2019 graphics still in for Madden and FIFA both. Like,
oops.
Yeah, like the banners in the stands that have like the game name, they didn't update the assets. Like,
that would surprise me if that was like how they made the next year's, was like copy paste, update stats, replace year number, done.
I mean,
sometimes replace the year number.
Yes, sometimes replace the year.
Yeah, apparently sometimes replace.
That's a DLC.
I mean, they do.
Yeah, you want the current year's number? That's a DLC.
Yeah, like I remember, because I never played a lot of Madden. I played a lot of NCAA back in the day, and I remember that while the game felt pretty samey, there was almost always some new mode that was added. So there was at least some development effort being put in. And this was back like NCAA like 05, 06 era, somewhere in that time period
No,
is when I was playing.
especially with the introduction of Ultimate Team, which I don't
Yeah.
play, but like
You don't play Wallet Team?
there's no effort. It's just every year you play or you pay to play with like the updated stats. Now, given it's not as problematic in my opinion as it was before because of like whatever the pay to play passes now. It's like they don't necessarily have to come out with a new game.
Mm-hmm.
So, because you're not paying like $80 or $60 or whatever it is for a new game every year, it's just part of the pass. So I care less now, but still, it's like, why even go through the rebranding effort?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, really, just like do something akin to what Rockstar did with GTA 5. Like, GTA Online, just have Madden Online and just constantly update it. Make it free to play, and like people will play it. Or make it, you have to. Actually, that'd be really scummy if they had it as part of the Game Pass subscription only or something like that. They'd have to find some way to monetize it. But the Game Pass subscription would not be the answer to that, I don't think. Which actually, I mean, is a great point though that you just picked up like 1 month of it so you could scratch that itch for now.
Exactly. So instead of paying, because realistically, when I was buying the game, it was I would pay $60 or whatever it was, play it for a couple weeks, and then not touch it again. Maybe play it for another week in like 6 months. But now it's like, okay, it just came out. I want to play it a bit. I pay the $5 for the month. So it just became hella cheaper.
Yeah, I mean the value on that. I remember when that was first being talked about, and there was a lot of discussion about whether or not that was the EA Game Pass. That kind of format was going to be the new way forward for a lot of companies. Honestly, it's a pretty fucking good value. Like surprisingly good. I know a lot of people did it for Anthem when Anthem came out because there's a lot of speculation as to whether Anthem was gonna be a shit show or an absolute shit show, and people weren't ready to commit money on buying the actual game, or a lot of people weren't anyhow.
And what I like is it puts the onus on whoever the publisher is to continue to come out, whether it's the same game or whether it's a bunch of games, to continuously come out with content to interest you. Because when I buy a game, as soon as I give you that $60, you have no responsibility to basically have a game that will keep me interested long term because you already have my money. Like, sure, you might want to sell an expansion pack down the road, but if you come up with a game and it turns out it sucks and nobody likes it, it's like, cool, just put that development effort into a new game rather than expansion pack. So I do like it because it's like they're obligated to keep coming out with games that keep people interested, so they keep wanting to pay for whatever games. I'm sure that a lot of people, especially when it's small amounts, like $5 a month, they're like, well, shit, I'm gonna play enough EA games that I'm just gonna keep the subscription all year long because it's not that much. Personally, I don't enjoy enough EA games to keep that, so I'll do it like for a random month when there's something I want to check out. But
yeah, I mean, I was definitely in camp skeptical when they were talking about that, but anymore these days, I think I have a very similar opinion to you. Like, I think it's a good thing long term. Like, I think it has proven to be it's obviously proven to be viable to some degree, or EA would have already ditched it because they only care about money.
Yeah.
At least that's my opinion. They only care about money.
Yeah.
So,
and even if they make a bit less money, like having predictable revenue is so much more important for like investors and board members than having like a ton of revenue once and then maybe next month you got nothing. So it's like I might be looking at EA as an investor and being like, okay, sure, they had a ton of success this month, but I don't know what they're going to do next month. Whereas when you have predictable revenue and you can be like, we have this many subscribers, then it's a lot more easy to have faith in their continued success.
Speaking of investors, by the way, did anybody make it big on Dogecoin yesterday? Vecino, did you ever get that Dogecoin? Taco? Oh, Taco's muted.
I have some somewhere, but I need to find it. It's probably in Coinbase.
Dogecoin went up to almost 50 cents yesterday.
I've been sitting pretty on my Doge.
Are you diamond hands or are you looking to sell?
Oh, I'm holding. I'm holding for a while. Honestly, I already did the math on how much it needs to go up to for me to make $1 million.
There you go.
And what does it have to go up to for you to make $1 million?
$40 for Dogecoin.
Nice.
Yeah. And then Psycoin. If you guys going into anything, Psycoin. Telling you.
Are you telling me that if you got to the point where it was like $200,000 worth of Dogecoin that you would not sell?
I wouldn't.
Okay, fair.
I like a man of conviction. I'm down for that. I
invested my stimulus checks into this. That's it. Money. I'm sitting at like $25K right now off of $1,400.
Cue Tim and Eric show. It's free real estate.
Well, not just in Doge. I have Doge and I have Psycoin. So like, I invested into Psycoin at 2 cents. It's at 5.5 right now. In the last 2 weeks, it's gone up and doubled.
Yeah, I was gonna say Doge is designed to inflate, so it's gonna.
Yeah, exactly.
But are you willing to bet? Are you willing to bet 25,000 that it's going to continue to go up?
Yes. Yeah. I live very comfortably that I don't need the 25K right now.
Cool. That's fair. As long as you have that understanding, because I feel like a lot of people don't understand betting. It's like they'll put in $500 or whatever, and then it will go way up, and they'll be like, "Well, I only bet $500." It's like, but if you have the opportunity to cash out, then you're now betting a lot more.
So this is the way I looked at it, and I explained it to one of my coworkers, right? So say if I have 200 grand, right, and I take out 100 grand, and then it goes up, or sorry, let's do. I had 40 grand. I took out 20 grand because I needed that 20 grand to pay bills or whatever, right? So I took out that 20 grand. Now I only have 20K left. I lose the ownership of that Dogecoin, right? I lose that ownership where that value is lost of wherever I bought it from. So now instead of, say, if it goes up 10 times or it goes up to a new price, right? And that 20 or that 40K could have been 400K, right? But instead now it's only 200K. So I just lost for taking an initial investment of 20K out, or taking that 20K out for whatever I needed. I lost $200,000. So I lost 180K out of my pocket that I could have had because I needed that 20K.
You spent $200,000 on those expenses, not $20,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Of course, it also works vice versa.
Yeah, exactly. But it's the point where, if you need the 20K and you're really putting in money that you shouldn't be putting into stocks, regardless, then you shouldn't be investing.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, it is definitely even the smartest investments carry some amount of risk, and hopefully they're not everybody is for sure, but hopefully people do their best to do some sort of due diligence and risk assessment for themselves, because everybody's risk assessment is different. And there are people who just fall into the fear of missing out hole and just get taken to the cleaners, and it's just like, dude,
I know a couple people like that just went into Doge now. I'm like, well, why?
This is not the time. I mean,
yeah, you should wait until it maybe retraces. But I think I gave him the whole speech of like, I'm trying to be 40 and retire. So I don't know about you guys, but
yeah, I mean, if you're playing, you're playing with house money practically. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think it's different for everybody. As long as I think the biggest thing people need to do, just my personal opinion on the matter, is just do not be fueled by fear of missing out. Whatever you're doing, that should not be your primary motivation or decision-making influence. You should have other ideas, other goals independent of that. Otherwise, you're just asking for problems.
Yeah, you should have a reason for doing it, being like, I am investing in this because I am confident that this is going to happen and this is why, and not just like, oh, it's going up, and what if I miss out on even more? It's like, if that's the reason you're doing it, then you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, I've been trading for probably 4 years now actively, and I analyze all the charts, and I also margin trade. So I actually ride the dips and everything. So I make, on top of the actual growth of the crypto, I also make like $100 here and there, every day, just doing just that.
Where do you keep your your currency, do you have like a hardware wallet?
No, actually, I use Anchor USD. It's a really good app. It's fairly new. But the nice thing about it is that it actually gives you have a there's a wallet on there for just your USD cash, and then on some of the cryptos as well, depending there's like select ones, they actually give you 7.8% interest on it every day. So over the year you gain 7.8%.
Interesting.
So it's a really really good interest. I mean, that's better than any bank. So
Yeah.
you know,
Whatever you do, do not use Jack's Liberty wallet because
mm,
I got big fucked. I
mm,
put back when, like, by back when I mean just like earlier this year when Bitcoin went up and then
mhm.
dipped. I put $400 Canadian, $500 Canadian in, knowing that it would eventually go back up. Then as soon as I transferred all of my Bitcoin over to Jack's Liberty wallet, woke up the next morning, all of it was transferred out.
Oh, it sucks, man.
Yeah.
Um, the one
I
thing
like
I told some friends about this, and I still don't understand it in my mind. I do, but I also don't. Is why people invest into Bitcoin. It doesn't make sense unless you were there in the beginning where there was a huge motion of thousands of percent in motion and gain, right? Whereas now it's like literally 2-3% up and down, and it's kind of moving. And even if it does go from 60K to 70K, you're still not getting a huge percentage. So unless you have full amounts of bitcoins, like 3-4 bitcoins, you're really not making a huge profit, right?
Well, it depends.
Whereas
It depends on your investment and like objectives, right? It's
yeah,
like, why would anybody invest in like government bonds or anything because it's low percentage? It's like,
exactly,
well, it allows you to keep up with inflation, and it's a much safer investment, right? Like if
exactly.
I go invest on something, so it depends on your objectives. If your objectives are to invest and make a massive amount of money off, like, you know, like 800% returns, it's like, sure, you can invest and hope that happens, but it also might not happen at all. Like those investments are a lot riskier versus other ones. It's just that it seems like, especially around crypto, like Bitcoin is becoming the US dollar of trading, where it's like, if anybody is making money off Ethereum, it's like, okay, then I take my Ethereum and I want to sell it. I generally convert it to Bitcoin and then sell it. So it's
Mhm.
like, it's just the safest crypto to invest in. And even still, like if you're okay with a pretty safe 40% return or 30% return or something like that.
Yeah. Well, if you do some of the research on a lot of these cryptos, even the smaller ones that are like worth a couple cents each, um, they're like there's a lot of news behind them, and they're actually getting a lot of them are gaining traction. One of them, like I said, was Scicoin. And if do you know what Filebase is? Anyone?
Mm-mm. Oh, that's outside.
So so Filebase and a lot of these other cryptos are actually going with this kind of idea. Is they're trying to be a part of large storage based or cloud based companies and basically be their funding factor of it and work alongside them. So Filebase is a huge um, storage or cloud based company, right? So they do anything from emails to large corporate accounts, SQL servers, everything. Like they do all that shit. So Filebase just signed on Skynet and Scicoin, and as soon as that came out, their price jumped from like 2 cents to 5 cents overnight. And they continue to, and they're also being added to blockchain now, which before they weren't even close to being considered. Now they're being added to blockchain, which once that means they're added to blockchain, opens up the idea for hundreds and millions of investors to actually invest into Scicoin and these other cryptos, which makes it honestly go up. So
Yeah. And again, if you're one of the people that can take the time to do the research, it's like any investments where, if you have professionals doing it, then they can afford to be a lot more riskier because they have a lot more information, they understand it better, they know what's doing. I personally can't really be bothered to, go and research all the different companies and cryptos that are coming up. It's like, you know what? I can just put a bit of money into this, make money, assuming that it doesn't get stolen. I'm gonna be able to turn around in a couple of years and having made like 30%,
yeah,
40%. So
I hear you. That's always a smart idea. I've never been the safe investor, I guess.
Well, I mean, you can't. it's difficult to be a safe investor and also like achieve the goal that you're shooting for. So
yeah, it's not. Yeah, if your goal is like I want to invest small amounts of money and have a massive return, you cannot be a safe investor. Those things don't go together.
And like all said, I'm playing with house money right now, so
yeah,
I love it.
Makes it a lot easier.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Holy shit! I wondered why like Vecino and a few people dipped out. I think there's an EVOP kicking up pretty soon. We were like well past when we were supposed to be out of here already. It's like almost quarter till. We gotta wrap this thing up.
Can I sit in with you guys? I know I'm still like not in the whole dashboard thing or the 21 step thing, but
You'll have to hit up chat with Bane or like he's in here right now. He can get you hooked up with that. But I gotta wrap this showdown.
well, I'm just still not like the thing hasn't updated yet, so I'm just waiting on that. I was wondering if I could just sit in with you guys and just listen and watch.
Yeah, sure. I'll track you down.
There it is. All right, that's gonna do it for Strats Weekly this week. A lot of fun. Thanks to everybody who came out. Bane, Braden, Precious Kitty, Quetzalcoatl, the whole lot. I could read all of them, but I won't. I don't have time. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. Bye bye.